So we have successfully wired $20,000 to a private jet company. We're chartering a private jet.
What is up, and welcome back to episode number 6 in this series where we follow my life as a full-time day trader, 1 day per week. Now, as you saw by the title, this video is going to be a step-by-step tutorial on how to invest in the stock market for beginners. There are many of these videos out there, some ranging from 1 to 3 hours, but this is going to be a condensed version. We're going to get straight to the point, and I'm not going to waste your time. Little disclaimer, there's a lot of different strategies for investing, and there's no one right way to invest. A lot of what I'm going to be talking about is based on my opinion. We're going to take a quick trip to the Apple Store. I've actually got to get a new computer, and I'm going to get an iPad where I can write down the topics in today's video. So we're going to get right back to this, but first, let's head to the store. So we just looked at the photos, and we'd like to go forward and book that jet you sent.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, we just grabbed a MacBook and an iPad, decided to stop and look for a Rolex at this jewelry store because I am in the market for a Rolex. I have this one, but I want a solid gold one, so let's go see if they have any. Unfortunately, no Rolexes to be found, but right now we have to head to the bank, and I have to wire let's just say a lot of money. I'm not even gonna get into it. Let's just say I have to wire money to book a private jet. We're chartering a private jet for 2 weeks from now. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go do that.
So we have successfully wired $20,000. We're chartering a private jet. I'm not going to get into detail, but you're going to see in a couple weeks what we're actually going to do.
All right, we got the iPad, much better. Let's begin. Okay, so you've got some cash in your bank account and you know it's just sitting there losing value due to inflation. So the first step you're gonna have to take is opening up a brokerage account. All right, there are several different options such as Fidelity, Interactive Brokers, Vanguard, or what I personally use, TD Ameritrade. And if you're outside the US, a couple options are eToro, Trading 212, or Questrade. Now you're gonna have the option to open up several different types of accounts. You're gonna wanna open up an individual account, and if you're under 18, a custodial account. Okay, so a couple things I want you to ask yourself. Number one, what is your goal? Are you looking to be super aggressive with this money or conservative? Are you trying to be rich now or when you retire? It's pretty straightforward. More risk equals more reward. Now, depending on which direction you decide to take, there's a handful of different investment strategies that I'm going to be going over. And the first one is going to be an IRA or a retirement account. Now, there are several different types of IRAs. There's a Roth IRA, there is a traditional IRA, and then there's a SEP IRA, all having their own benefits and downsides. Now, with a traditional IRA, you can make pre-tax contributions. So the investments in this account will grow tax deferred, which just means that you're delaying paying taxes until you withdraw the money at retirement. Inside the IRAs, you can invest in stocks, bonds, and other assets. Historically, stocks and bonds have higher returns, so that's the direction I'd go. With a traditional IRA, there is a $6,000 contribution limit per year. Now, if you have a job, and depending on how much you make at that job, these contributions could potentially be tax deductible. And it's important to note that any investment into this IRA will essentially be locked away until retirement. You do have the option to take a withdrawal before you retire, but you will be hit with a 10% fee, essentially, or a 10% penalty for taking that money out. The great thing is there's no age limit when opening up either a traditional or a Roth IRA. Okay, this is a great route to take if you're looking for a safer investment approach and you're looking to build wealth for when you retire. Okay, on to the next investment strategy. So you've probably heard of the S&P 500. Now this is a collection of stocks sorted by market cap, liquidity, and industry. So essentially it reflects the market's performance as a whole. Now adjusted for inflation, the historical average return for the S&P 500 is around 7%. So one of the safest investment strategies would just be to simply invest in the S&P 500. You could also invest into another index such as the Dow Jones or the NASDAQ, both of which you've probably heard of as well. On to the next investment strategy, which in my opinion is going to be the most aggressive approach, which is trading. As many of you know, I trade, and that is how I have been able to build wealth at a young age. So rather than putting my money into a retirement account like an IRA, I instead decided to take the riskier approach because I felt that it was worth the reward. One thing I want to note, that trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme by any means. A lot of people make it out to be that. In fact, it's going to take a lot of time and work and effort. That is, unless you just copy my trades that I post inside my mentorship group. Little shameless plug. I'll actually teach you the exact trading strategy which I use to make money, and you will have the ability to copy my trades if you want to check that out. And if this is the investment strategy you want to take, then go ahead, click that first link in the description. That's it. That was my little shameless plug. On to the next investment strategy. Let's talk about creating a diversified stock portfolio. Now, just like investing into an index fund or a retirement account, this approach is going to be more passive than day trading. With this comes inherently more risk, so I would say this is a moderate level of risk, creating your own diversified stock portfolio. Let's talk about how you're going to do that. Now, to start off, you want to take a long-term view, and you're going to want to create a plan. So this is going to require some time and some research on your part. So there are 11 sectors in the stock market, a couple being energy, financials, materials, and industrials. Now the best way to diversify this portfolio is going to be to own 2 or 3 stocks out of these sectors. I'd recommend diversifying between at least 10 and at most 30 stocks. I would say 30 is a good number to aim for as far as individual stocks in this portfolio. Now, another thing you're going to want to do is establish a time frame as far as how long you want to hold this portfolio. Are you going to hold it for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? What I'd recommend is at least 5 years. Considering the volatility within the market, 5 years is gonna give you the best outcome. Now, at the end of the day, your goal is going to be to beat the market with this portfolio. So essentially to beat that 7% average return that the S&P will give you if you were to just invest in the S&P. And most importantly, you're gonna have to be able to sit back and hold your positions through times of drawback. The inevitable market pullbacks that will come over the next couple of years, over the next 10 to 15 years. If you have an outlook, say 15 years, and the market crashes in 2 years, are you gonna panic and are you gonna sell your positions, or are you gonna stick to your plan and are you gonna hold through this time of drawback? Those are 4 great investment strategies that you can implement this year in 2022. And if you'd like for me to cover one of these topics in more detail in a separate video, drop a comment below. My goal with this video was to make sure that you could make the most informed decision as far as where to put and where to invest your money. I hope I did earn your thumbs up. That is going to conclude today's episode. Got that private jet locked in, got a MacBook, got this iPad, so it was a productive day. But with that said, that is gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next one. And make sure to subscribe. I'm rolling. Finish chewing 1 second.
Blooper.
Yeah, finishing my lollipop. We have
Okay, your tongue is like blue.